it's your boy Davidoff. Sorry I'm late to this, it's just that I was recording an Avengers Endgame full movie reaction, movie commentary to that movie on Tuesday, and I was editing. It didn't take that long, to be fair, but exporting it took 14 hours. And I knew, I thought it was going to take longer than that, so I thought, you know what, on both my channels, I will get Wednesday's videos and Thursday's videos all uploaded on my channel in advance. So I did that, and then the Spider-Man news came out, and I was like, you know what, do I make that video or do I export my Avengers Endgame commentary? And I thought, you know what, I'll do that, because I'm not too worried about being first to this anyway. So, my thoughts on this. It's Disney's fault. Now look, I'm a Disney fan. I love Pixar. Pixar's great. I grew up with Pixar. It's amazing. I like the animated movies. Not all of them, but I have liked a lot of them over the years growing up. I love Marvel. I'm a big superhero fan. I love DC as well, but I love Marvel. I love the MCU. I love Spider-Man in the MCU. I like Tom Holland's version. I like Star Wars, even the new ones. Maybe apart from Solo, and The Last Jedi had issues as well. But still, I love The Force Awakens. I liked Rogue One. You know, I like the new Star Wars as well, even though most people don't. But I'm okay with it, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so I'm a fan of a lot of Disney's things. I don't hate Disney. But this particular situation is Disney's fault. Even if you like Disney, you got to realize that this situation is Disney's fault. Sony owns Spider-Man. Yes, he's a Marvel character, but Sony owns him. They own the rights for Spider-Man movies. Full stop. End of discussion. Okay? And the deal they had was to have Spider-Man in the MCU with Marvel Studios, Kevin Feige producing. Sony will still make his solo movies, but still MCU, he'd be in the MCU. And the deal was that Disney got 5% of the profits, Sony got 95%. Okay, so that's the initial thing. So if Disney wanted more than 5%, I do understand. But you can't say 50-50. Because Sony owns it, and on top of that, Disney gets all the money from merchandise. Spider-Man movies come out, there's toys for those movies, toys sell like mad, they make a lot of money. Disney gets all the money from Spider-Man toys. All of it. All of it. Disney and Marvel, they take it all. Sony get none of it. And Sony owns the movie rights to Spider-Man. So even if you take away the merchandise, it's still not... I prefer not to comment on what just happened. I prefer not to comment. When I talk, my hands move around quite a lot, and there was this bottle that was with the cap off, and I knocked it over, and it just spilled on my table and on the floor where there's a lot of plugs. So, did some work with a towel, and yeah. I literally sat there for like 2 minutes in shock. Where was I? Where was I? So this is Disney's fault. So Sony makes none from merchandise. But even if you take that to the side, right? Sony owns Spider-Man. Okay? He's their character. He's not just their character, he is their biggest. Right? Spider-Man is Sony's biggest asset. He is the biggest superhero. Like in terms of popularity, fan base, even merchandise. There's no one bigger than Spider-Man. The only one that comes close is Batman. Spider-Man was huge before the MCU. He doesn't need the MCU. He doesn't. Spider-Man is huge. And Sony owns him. They legally own Spider-Man. They bought him from Marvel back, I don't know, 2000 I think it was, a while ago. Right? They took a risk. They bought him from Marvel and they made some great movies. And some bad ones too, but some great ones. Alright? But then, obviously, Marvel got to use him again. With a deal, with a sharing deal, making 5% of the profits. But when Disney wanted 50-50, it's unfair because Sony owns him. If you own something and someone comes in and says, we want to make half the profit from what you own, that's not fair. That's not fair on Sony. Sony should not do that. They will make more money if they leave and make movies on their own. They will make more money because 50% of $1 billion is still less than 100% of like 600 million. Because Spider-Man will make them money. He'll make at least 700 million plus. He will make a lot. His movies make a lot of money regardless. All right, they might not make a billion, but they'll still make a lot of money. Okay, it's Spider-Man. He's gonna make a lot of money. So there's that. And obviously in the MCU, he was doing well. I think it was a good character. I think they used him well. I think he made the MCU movies bigger, and a lot more people watched it because of him, which is great. But now they've come to this. And to be fair, this day might have been coming all this time because it's a sharing deal. It's Sony's property, but they agreed to share him with the MCU. I understand Disney asking for more, but it shouldn't have been 50-50. They should have gone for like maybe 10% more. They should have asked like, can we have 15%, and see what they said. You can't just go there and ask them for half. That shouldn't be how it works, all right? Now, I want to see Spider-Man in the MCU. I want to see him stay in the MCU. What they set up in Spider-Man 2 Far From Home, I want to see what happens in the third one. I want to see that movie. We might not get it now, but I want to see it. So I hope that they can come to a deal, like a good deal for Sony as well. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. So I am still going to watch the Sony movies, alright? Don't boycott Sony, alright? Just stop that nonsense. This isn't Sony's fault. Don't boycott Disney either. Don't boycott anyone, okay? This is Disney's. This is on Disney. If Spider-Man doesn't come back to the MCU, this one is on Disney, okay? Not on Sony. Alright, so those are my thoughts, alright? And Sony can make a great Spider-Man movie, okay? The first 3 movies were great. Spider-Verse was great. Amazing Spider-Man, the first one was good. Second one was terrible. Spider-Man 3 was terrible. What went wrong in those ones? They tried to put too much in it. Studio interference, they messed it up. The studio messed it up. Sony made the mistakes there. Hopefully they learn from that. Hopefully they learn from the MCU, and hopefully they can make great movies. Yeah, and I'm still going to watch them. Like, I'm not going to be like, oh, it's not the MCU, I'm not going to watch this. It's just stupid. Like, why does it have to be in the MCU? It doesn't have to be in the MCU to flip and enjoy it, you know? So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do, but I'm also hoping that they can change their minds, Disney, and make an actual fair offer, and hopefully we can have Spider-Man still in the MCU, because I want to see what happens in Spider-Man 3. I want to see Spider-Man against the Sinister Six in the MCU. It would be cool. They've clearly been building up to it in a way, so I want to see it happen, alright? Or the Spider-Man movie with Carnage as the villain. How good would that be? Well, I'm saying that would be amazing. And also there's a good chance that we'll see Spider-Man and Venom in the same movie as well, so that's another thing. But apparently Tom Holland is apparently contracted for one more movie or 2 more movies, so how's that going to work if it's not in the MCU? Like how is that all going to work? If Sony reboots, I think either they should recast Peter Parker or do Miles Morales. We had 3 versions of Peter Parker in this century alone, the last 20 years. Do Miles Morales, live action, do him. I don't know, but there's a lot of things that they can do. They don't need the MCU to make good Spider-Man movies, okay? So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Or a live action Spider-Verse. Just do something, okay? But whatever they do, hopefully it's good. That's if Sony are parting ways. Whatever they do, I think they can make great movies, and I hope it's good. But I want them to stay in the MCU. I want them to stay in the MCU, so hopefully they actually stay and we get that Spider-Man 3. Because I hate when things end before an actual ending. I want to see Spider-Man's story arc end before he actually goes. So hopefully, if they don't agree for the future, they can at least make one more movie in the MCU, then leave. That'd be great. I don't know. We'll see what it comes to. But I'm looking forward to Phase 4, Phase 5, X-Men, Fantastic Four, etc, etc. So hopefully it all works out fine for everyone. Hopefully. And hopefully DC make some great movies as well. This is your boy Davidoff. Please like, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and see ya.